When I was younger, my dad used to show me TED Talks all the time. We would watch them together in our living room and we would discuss what we had learned. I loved it and I learned a lot about the world, but also about myself. I remember one day he looked at me, tears in his eyes, and he said, "Son, if you ever get the chance to give a TED Talk, start with a personal anecdote. A memory from your youth. It doesn't have to be a true memory, you can make it up if you have to. But start with an emotional anecdote." And on that moment, more than ever before, I felt how much he loved me. Now, we're living in different times now. We're living in a world of crises. Our debt is larger than it ever was before. This is the economical crisis. There's an ecological crisis, the crisis of global warming, and our temperatures are rising fast. And then there's clearly a cultural crisis. There are currently more episodes of Honey Boo Boo than there ever were in the history of time. These are big challenges, all of them. And now I want to show you something creepy. The rise in debt, temperature, and Honey Boo Boo episodes coincides perfectly with the rising number of TED Talks. This is proof that we should not trust TED Talks. TED Talks cause crises. So first things first, whatever you do, don't listen to what people tell you at a TED Talk. Believe me, don't believe anything you hear at TED. Let's take a look at what a TED Talk is exactly and what it could be that makes a TED Talk so dangerous. A TED Talk usually consists of three things. Firstly, ideas. TED Talks are all about ideas. Why we should never sleep again. What film directors can learn from cat videos. The importance of yogurt. These are all ideas. I tried finding a TED Talk without ideas, there are none. Secondly, words. You may not have noticed this, but every TED Talk consists of words. Some of those words are said aloud, others are written on slides, and some are made up by the speaker. Be careful, people who speak at TED conferences love to make up words. They really love to make up words. And if you're not this creative, you can always revolutionize a word by adding a number at the end. We call this Creativity 2.0. Now, the third element of a TED Talk is something a little more vague. It's a very specific combination of hope and optimism. It's the feeling you get when you want to give a standing ovation for a speaker, or when you want to share his talk on Twitter or Facebook, or when you're watching an episode of Extreme Home Makeover. I call this feeling hopetimism. And it's a very strong element in TED Talks. Now, what could it be that makes TED Talks so dangerous? Is it the ideas? Is it the words? Is it the hopetimism? Yes. It's all three. Animals don't lie. Think about it. Animals don't lie. They can convey feelings of love to each other. They can help one another. Animals can protect themselves. They can protect their young, but they do not lie. Why not? Because they don't have words. Words are a lying machine. We all know the famous Shakespeare quote, "Words are stupid, trust a mime." Except he didn't say this. This is what words are good for, making things that are not true sound like they are true. Don't trust words. If something sounds true, it isn't. The second reason TED Talks are dangerous is that they are ID-based. Now, what can he possibly have against IDs, you'll say? IDs are wonderful. We should all spread them. That's why you're here, spreading your little IDs all over the place. Let's take a look at some of your IDs. Slavery is an ID. Plastic bags are an ID. Gangnam Style is an ID. These were all massively popular IDs once, and they are all terrible. You should be ashamed of yourselves. In fact, IDs are a disease. They spread in an uncontrollable fashion, and once they started spreading, there's no way of stopping them. It's called going viral for a reason. This is where optimism comes in. Ideas spread because they are satisfying. And the most satisfying ideas come from optimism. These are the ideas that give us hope for our future. There is a heaven. We can cure global warming. You can be the voice of Holland. That's optimism doing its work. Making dangerous ideas sound good, sound inspiring, making them spreadable. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this talk, one thing you should tell everyone you know, one thing that should be in every newspaper tomorrow, it's that we should not spread ideas. People spread a lot of dangerous ideas. So let's become immune to them. People believe a lot of dangerous things. So let's stop believing in things. I believe if we abandon hope, our world will become a better place. I believe if we abandon optimism, we will become a better people. And I believe we will become happier, we will become smarter, and we will become better looking if we just stop believing in things. It's time for a society 2.0. Thank you.